I was gonna say,
Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquan. Watchmen for Israel coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire. Giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Woman like Yahushua. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushua. Our hearty shalom to you, mighty men of the Most High, who are out there in the highways and byways, laboring, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, and presenting your body as a living sacrifice. Shalom, shalom. Right. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Brothers, guys.
Khan. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Khan, hey, tonight we're going right into it. 10 things what to expect when you come into this truth, man. Right? So we were just talking about it prior to the live that we didn't have the opportunity to see a video titled this. Now there, videos you see coming to the truth and my experiences and whatever the case may be, but just an outright lesson going into what to expect as brothers coming out of the world and as sisters coming out of the world, and what to expect when you come into this truth is very, very important. A lot of people they'll come into the truth for the wrong reason. They come into the truth not knowing what to expect. They come into the truth and they're trying to figure out why their life is changing, why their family's leaving them. Even if you've been in the truth for X amount of years, it's still important to know these things because you may have overlooked something, or you may be going through something in your life and you may not have known that was part of this walk in the Mashiach Yahushua, man. So these are and this is for brothers that just come into this truth and sisters. And even if you've been in this thing, you still may pick up something, right? But brothers got it.
Right, and like the brother said, man, you face all type of tribulations and trials when you first come into this truth. Right, you may come into the truth watching a video, may seeing Esau bow down, or the strength of the men out there, then being able to quote the precepts. And it's different from the so-called Christian church, right? And then you sitting up there, you more into it, you going through the precepts, right? But hey, man, this thing is deep, right? Even to this very day, brothers, I myself and all of the mighty brothers are still uncovering dark parables and secrets that the Lord is revealing unto us in the last days. Nobody knows everything. So when you come into this truth, to the day you get beamed up, Lord willing, you'll forever be learning. You'll forever be diving into the precepts. You'll forever be teaching. It's always work to doing this thing. You uncover, the more you are serious in this truth and in this thing, the more you're going to lose, man. And let me get that in the book of Philippians. Because this isn't a game, man. A lot of brothers that's lukewarm, or, they know about the truth, they may not know the severity of how deep it really is in the spirit, man. But for everybody 10 toes down, keeping the commandments with all diligency and doing everything they can do to magnify the name of the Lord, they can understand how this thing can be, man. It's the book of Philippians chapter 3 and verse number 7. It says, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Yahushua. What was gained to brothers in the world, man? You had money. A lot of brothers literally had money in the world. Suitcases full of it. And we know an elder that drove Mercedes Benz, right? And he lived a life, man. But what else he had?
He had yachts. He had all of the women. He had all of the money. 1,000 patents, inventions.
Yeah.
His own damn truck company. His own restaurant. His own damn factory. Pretty much, he had every damn thing.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, one more quick point. He was on the verge of they wanted him to give his patent up to make almost like $3 million, man.
It says, but what things were gained to me, right? So, like I said, we know an elder. Look, he had the whole world, man. Literally, he had everything the heart could wish on the left-hand side that could have somebody to say, you know what, I'm not coming into this. I already have everything. It said, those counted loss for Yahushua. Yet doubtless, and I counted all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua. Now, a lot of brothers, they look at this. When you out the spirit, you look at this and all you see is paper. You see ink, right? But you don't understand how deep this literally is, man. These secrets, these parables, this prophecy, this understanding, it'll literally take you out of the dust and have you to sit upon a throne, man. And it said, I'm going to read that again. Yet doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of knowledge of Yahushua, my Lord, So you're leaving the world in exchange for knowledge. Now that makes to somebody, I didn't go to school, I don't like reading, I don't like doing this. Hey, well, you're a fool, man. This is not devilish knowledge that you read about in James, the 3rd chapter, man. Right? This is the truth, the God-given truth that nobody knows. And you got to understand the Lord handpicked you. You can't pick the Lord. This is not the Christian church where you walk down the aisle, they play the music, and you can submit yourself unto the Lord. It doesn't happen like that. The Lord has to handpick you out of this wicked world to come and serve him. It says what? For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahweh. So all these things of this world, the money, the yachts, the jewelry, the women, all that you got to count is dung, man. Feces, so that you can gain the crown of Yahweh.
And that's something that's like with any job or any business or any career that you want to invest in. You have to understand that the pros and the cons. You have to weigh things in the balance. When you come into this truth, you was up late at night, 4 a.m, watching conspiracy videos on pyramids and aliens, or black then what is that black consciousness, man, and the Illuminati. You was up to 3, 4 a.m, man. Then you randomly clicked that video on your recommended. You don't know why you clicked it and why you were up that late, but somehow you clicked that video, and now you see brothers out there doing the work of the Most High. Now you come into the truth and you get excited, man. Right? Let me get this precept real quick. Right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 10th chapter. Right? You get Slakia. You get excited and you get that honey, man. But you also have to understand you're gonna have to get that bitter too. And that's what brothers need to know when you come into this truth. You're going to get excited. All praises to the Most High. You're going to know your nationality. You're going to learn the commandments. You're going to learn the laws. You're going to find out who Esau is. You're going to be looking up the damn Edomites. You're going to be highlighting all in your Bible, Isaiah 14:21, 2nd Ezra chapter 6:54. Hey, that's what I did, man. When I first heard 2nd Ezra chapter 6:54-59, I lost my mind. I lost my mind, and I'm watching. I said, what the hell? And Isaiah 14 and 20, it was 14 and 1 and 2 and 21. I wrote on the damn sticky note and posted on the wall, man. You hear certain precepts that you never heard before. You're like, what? That's in the Bible, and that's expected, right? These are the things that you expect. These are the good things. These are the things that you smile ear to ear from, right? You'll be telling everybody and their auntie and their cousin that they're Israelites. You'll be on Facebook making posts. You'll get into arguments with your pastor, right? You'll tell everybody. You're on the train, on the bus. Everybody has to know that you're an Israelite. You order your Apocrypha, right? You order your Bible. You start getting into it, right? Let's go to Revelation, the 10th chapter, right? And we're speaking from everybody's experience is different, but we're giving you the general understanding, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. Revelation chapter 10 and 7. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of the Most High shall be finished, as yet declared to his servants the prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel, which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. So the Lord told John the Revelator, go and take the book from the angel. Now, the book isn't a Dr. Seuss book or a Harry Potter or Stephen King book. The book is symbolic for the Bible. That's what he took. It reads, And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And that's what you get. You order your book on Amazon, right? You may get it from Barnes and Noble, right? You might get your Apocrypha from this website. You found out it was cheap on another website. You said, Give me the little book. You waiting for your. I remember I was tracking my damn Bible in the mail, man. Like a stalker. Tracking, what's the tracking number? Waiting for it to come in, man. That's how you got to be in this thing. And you're going to say, Give me that little book. It reads, And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. What does it mean he ate it up? He read, he learned, he got the understanding. So when you come into this truth, you're going to begin to gain understanding. You're going to know things. And the Lord said, let me get this quick precept in Jeremiah 33. Right? And this is fundamental. This is what our people need to know. This is Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 3. It reads, call unto me. I'm going to start at 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah the second time, while he was yet shut up in the court of the prison, saying, thus said the Lord, the maker thereof, the Lord that formed it to establish it, the Lord of hosts, it's like the Lord is his name. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. And that's the really the first verse I heard when I came into the truth. Between this and a precept in Jeremiah the 29th chapter, man. You know, when I kind of heard that verse, spirit hopped on me. And you're gonna see things that the Most High never showed you before, man. Like I said, all types of mysteries, laws, commandments, heritage, the dietary law. All of these are the sweet things that you're going to eat up when you come into this truth. You're going to get excited and catch that fire and that zeal. But you got to also understand, back in Revelation 10 and 10, it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So you come into this truth, it's going to be like honey, man. You're going to be smiling from ear to ear. You're going to be excited. And don't let nobody really take that excitement from you, man. Right? You're going to be geeked, how they say in the world, man. Elated. Telling everybody, making all types of posts. But then things are going to get bitter. They were telling you straight up, things are going to get bitter. Meaning what? Affliction's going to come your way. Trials, the old man. And we're going to cover all of it tonight, most are willing. Temptations, old friends, family coming against you, getting fired from your job. You understand? Losing money. Your life may potentially, on a physical level, get worse. The Lord began to test you. You see things you never thought that you would see. You deal with demons. You find out that demons actually exist. And they hunt your steps. And you got to understand that when you come in this thing. But brothers got it.
Con. And I'm going to touch on that with this precept. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So although you increase, you understand understanding and honey, and you getting the parables, and you understanding who you are, you understanding your enemies, you understanding the seals, or whatever the case may be, you're also going to increase that sorrow, man. You're going to finally understand that your mom might die. It is what it is, man. She don't want to hearken and listen. She going to die. Like you got somebody else, your children, right? You may have a wife in the world when you come into the truth. You know, she's bucking up. She doesn't want to hear that. She loves sweet baby Jesus and all of the pictures and all of the things in the Christian church. Your own family hate you. These are the things that are going to increase in sorrow. And don't just think when you get the best news of your life, the Lord isn't going to offset it with a just balance. This is the best thing that could ever happen to you, you being an Israelite. But with that being said, what comes with being an Israelite is all of the damn things of this world that's going to weigh you down. Like the brother said, man, you have no idea how hard it is to be on fire every day because everything is trying to cool you off. Everybody's trying to seduce you, man. A Lot said he was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Every single day, let me get that real fast, right? Every single day is going to be seducing. When you go to work, right, whether you're at the bus stop, wherever you're at, you're 2 steps from falling off the truth, man, if you're not rooted. This is the book of 2 Peter, and it's extremely hard for somebody first coming into the truth. You're like a baby. You know when the what do they call it? The gazelle was born, then it's all skinny and feeble, and it's trying to find out where the hell their mother went, and then they all vulnerable by themselves. That's how you are on a spiritual level when you come into this thing. You see weed everywhere. You still got old friends' numbers. They still calling you. This before you change your phone. You're still in that same environment, but yet you have the enlightenment of the truth. It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 7. And delivered just Lot, right? Vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. So the righteous was going to be vexed with folly and foolishness and madness, man. Only somebody that's lukewarm or not truly rooted would indulge in folly communication, man. It says, for that righteous man dwelleth among them, and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day. And there may be a lot of people that's young, maybe 17, 18, in college. Hey, you're vexed with the filthy conversation of your classmates, right? In the dorm room, all of these different places. When you first coming into this thing, everywhere you go, it's nothing but nasty communication. And that word, when it says vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, right? And that's loot and lasciviousness, man, when you go into it. And all of that lust that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So these things are supposed to not seduce you and for you to lust after, but it's supposed to vex you, man. There's going to be a lot of people. I'm going to put this precept. There's going to be a lot of people in this thing. They're not going to want to serve the Lord because they're going to see what's above that hill when they first get into this truth. A lot of people, they taste of it, but as soon as you want them to commit an action, they turn their back. Okay, now you have to throw away that cigarette. They get offended. Now you got to leave that whore alone, right? Of the different nations. Now you got to put down the ancient book of Kemet. Now you got to do this. Not when these actions start bringing forth, people say, you know what? I don't want to do this, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 44 and verse 15. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelled in the land of Egypt and in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, these wicked men are saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee. So you got certain people like your aunties, your uncles, your damn father, even your mother, man. And you shaking them up, trying to get them to understand. But they say, what? The words of the Lord? We don't want to hear that, man. Get out of here with that. Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. Meaning we want to do whatever the hell we want to do, man. Hey, look, I don't want to put down that cigarette. I'm not stop smoking weed. Hey, man, your friends in the world, you're trying to teach them the truth. They'll sit up there and blow in your face. For real? Oh, that's what you all down? Right? They'll disrespect the hell out of you, man. It says, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. Meaning we want to serve the damn devil, man. Our flesh, our lust, and whatever entices us and to walk in, man. It says what? To burn incense unto the queen of heaven. And that's manyfold. That could be bowing down to a woman. When you read it in the spirit, there was also in literally the Babylonian Empire who they were serving, but on a spiritual level, they got cigarettes, weed, all type of lewdness, parties, drunkenness, all of the lust of this world. Look, we want to serve it. It says, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done. We and our fathers, our kings and our princes, our whole family, and the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. Check this out. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. They said, look, man, when we served the spiritual demon Satan and the queen of heaven, we didn't see no evil. Now Jeremiah's trying to get them to do what? Repent and come to the Lord. But when they do that, they have to understand two things. They're going to have to go through the famine. They're going to have to literally be snatched up by the Babylon Empire and go under the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. Like, we're not doing that, man. Why would we serve a God where we're going to be in slavery? Why don't we serve the Queen of Heaven, this made-up demonic entity, so we can serve and fulfill of our lust and our desires? It says what? For then had we plenty of victuals. I mean, we had food when we did this. When we served your God, Jeremiah, we had no food. We had no victuals. We had nothing. All we had is chastisement. And a lot of people, they don't want chastisement, man. They don't want that rod. They want joy. They want to be a big-ass kid from the time they're born to the time they die, man. They don't want to ever change. And just like any real man, you're going to have to change, man. You can't be that mentality, I'll never change. That's Jake, and I ain't never switching up. Well, brother, you'll never amount to anything. You'll never grow. You'll stay with that same understanding. You'll never change who you used to be, and you'll always be stagnant upon a will constantly, and you'll never do any growth, man. Well, I love changing for the Lord, man. Every single day, you're supposed to change in a righteous way. You're supposed to get rid of that old man every single day and improve yourself on some type of level. It says, "For then have we plenty of victuals, and we're well and saw no evil." And a lot of people are scared to see evil. That's what it all boils down to. You don't want to come into this truth or fully plant your feet into the ground because of what's going to happen. And that evil is manyfold. That's Jacob's trouble. That's losing your family. That's being broke. That's chastisement. Hey, the Lord may break your bones, man, just so he can heal you when you put your trust in him. So all of these things, our forefathers were the wicked ones. They didn't want to hearken and listen, but the righteous ones did. You got it, Kim.
This is Sirach 27 and 13. The discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is in the wantonness of sin. Their sport, their pastime, their activity is always in the wantonness of sin. Everything that they do, it revolves around some type of wicked activity, right? Going to the club. The brother already mentioned smoking. They have smoke sessions. They call them hot boxes in the world. They get in a car. It is what it is. We got to be blunt with Israel. They get in a car. They light a couple of matches. They got the weed or the tote, as some may say, and they just kill their lungs. They destroy their lungs. They hate themselves. They're killing themselves. This is their game. This is their fun. It's all sin. That's why it's irksome when you hear these things after hearing the knowledge of the truth. Imagine hearing somebody say, I'm about to smoke. In your mind, you about to kill yourself. What are you talking about? That's irksome to you, you know? But it's only irksome to you if you hate wickedness. Now, if you hearing that and you kind of enticed and you licking your lips and you reminisce, you looking at your old lighters, because every weed head got a whole lot of lighters. You're looking at your lighters, start thinking, you just flicking it. You flirting with your old man, you know, you flirting with your old self that you was in the world. So you have to hate the discourse of fools, and you really have to hate what the Most High hates. As Amos 5 and 15, real quick, it reads this. Amos chapter 5, verse 15. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. So you have to stand up for the Lord and hate the evil, right? Rebuke it, right? Show correction to your people. This is one more in Sirach 20 and 9. There's a sinner that hath good success in evil things, right? As we mentioned before, and when you come into this truth, you want to go through it, right? Of course, after the some may say the honeymoon phase, when you hear all the milk, you drinking all the honey, it tastes good to you. I'm an Israelite, or I'm gonna get this in the kingdom, I'm gonna get that in the kingdom. Awesome, I'm a fly. That's cool and all, but then comes that bitter part. All right, your friends may leave you, your wife may cheat on you, you may lose all your money, your parents may kick you out. Whatever the case is, just know it's not going to be good because hey, you're serving the Lord, and now Satan is going to come at you 10 times harder. All right, and then you're going to see your friends prospering in wickedness. You're going to ask yourself, is this really the right way? Am I going down the right path? Why are they having so much success? All right. It reads, there's a sinner that hath good success in evil things, and their gain, it's like, and there's a gain that turneth to loss. On the surface level, it may seem beautiful. It may seem like they're having the time of their life. But guess what? All that gain is going to turn into loss because they're not truly serving the Lord. When we don't truly serve the Lord, you got demons out for you. You have these death angels out for you. All right. You have a warrant on you. And the Lord surely will catch up with them. Just look at all the rich people of this world that's having all this success, glamour, fame, etc. All right. So again, you have to hate the discourse of fools. So if you see your old friends on Facebook chopping it up, saying they hit a lick or they ran into this or that or the third, and you gotta rebuke it. You gotta block these people. You have to cut them off. If you don't cut them off, you're gonna be consumed with that folly. And that's a major thing to do when you first come into the truth. And I tell everybody that. Cut them off, or else they're gonna be a plague unto you. But with that, I yield.
God, man, I want to get Luke, hey, the Lord said in Proverbs 1 and 10 on down, my son of sinners entice thee, consent thou not. You know? So I want to get this in Luke 14 and 25. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. You see that? These are the requirements. When you come into this truth, this is one of the things that's expected of you, man. If you want to go and flip burgers at McDonald's, they'll say, oh, look, if you want this job, okay, you got to work from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, you got to clean off the grill. You got to flip the burgers. You got to mop the floor. You got to wear the headset, say, how may I take your order? You got to know how to deal with the cash register. You may have to know how to get them hash browns and take the hash browns out the oil and put them in a nasty bag and put it in a thing and roll the bag up tight and flip it. You got to know these things, man. And they'll even tell you at certain interviews, hey, look, these are the job what the job duties. Are you able to perform these duties? And you heard them right in front of you. Or they may say, look, I expect you to do A, B, and C. You heard it. And then if you get on that job and you're trying to figure out why you have to flip burgers and clean the bathroom floor, then your mind not right. You know? Or if you get into McDonald's and you're trying to figure out why does it smell like burger grease? Brother, what do you expect? Why do I keep hearing the cash register ching thing? And why do I have to say how may I take your order? These things are expected of you. You don't think the Most High, that's of the world. You don't think the Most High expects things of you when you come into the truth? He expects you to follow him and nobody else, first and foremost. It's so much what the Lord said, you have to hate your father and your mother. Does that mean you throw up curses on them and stab them like a weirdo? No, what it says hate, it means if they're pulling you away from the Most High, then guess what? You cut them off like Yaradan was saying. You never put your earthly father before the Most High, his son, Yahushua, by any means. A lot of times, brothers come to the truth and they know about the Sabbath day, and Satan's going to attack you on the Sabbath. Your old friend never hit you up, but all of a sudden, he want to go out on the Sabbath. Or your old woman of your dreams. You couldn't get her in the world. You came into the truth. Somehow she came back in your life and hit you up on Facebook Messenger. What are you doing? Then you have a conversation, a long conversation. Do you want to hang out this Saturday? Now you got to make a decision. Are you going to serve the Most High? Or are you going to hang out Saturday, man? You know, you gotta hate these things, man. You can't put your mother and your mother try to make you feel bad for not calling her on Mother's Day. I remember my so-called mother did that. You don't want to call your mother on Mother's Day. No, I don't celebrate Mother's Day according to the Bible. When you go to so and so and so and so, now I get to the point, it's not even expected. Hey, your sisters, man, they'll try to make you do things before the Most High. Right? Let me read on. And if you can't get past that point, then you're not going to last too far. You can't be Yahushua's disciple if your family is your first stumbling block. We have countless stories. Like I can never stop telling the story. The brother who was telling his earthly father about Yahushua being a so-called black man, his father started scoffing. The son said, I'm done with the conversation, proceeded to walk upstairs. His earthly father took a knife out and stabbed him in the back, and he rolled down the stairs, hit his head, and had a concussion. These things happen. Another account, this brother, he said his mother, somebody tried to shave his beard off while he was asleep. They keep trying to shave his beard off, and every house he go to, he get kicked out. And these things happen, man. Your best friend, you and your brother was real tight. Now this truth is going to bring y'all apart. Hey, you and your damn uncle was real tight, man. This truth is going to separate you from man and bring you to the Most High. Verse 27. And whoso, this is Luke 14 and 27. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. You got to bear the cross. Is that an actual cross that you chop a tree down and carve it out and you walk around with it? No. Bearing a cross is the burdens of being in this truth, the afflictions and the pain. And your cross may be heavy. I believe an actual cross is what, 75 pounds? It got to be more than that. Maybe like 120, right? A cross is pretty heavy. It's not a light thing. So Yahushua had to physically bear his cross, and Simon of Cyrene, who proceeded to help him on the way to Golgotha. You have to bear your cross. And sometimes when you're carrying something heavy and you want to stop, man, you want to fall. You want to put it down. You can't put this cross down. If you put this cross down, you'll never be able to pick it back up. Your back may hurt, but you got to bear that cross. Yahushua bore the cross while people was mocking and scoffing at him, man. You got to bear that cross. Every brother has their own, and sister have your own personally designed cross just for you. A Yaradam's cross may be 200 pounds. My cross might be 10 pounds. A Ra's cross might be 300 pounds. And when you come into this truth, you get a cup, right? You get a cup and you get a cross. You know, you got to drink your cup and bear your cross. Let's read on. Verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest happily, after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. You have to count the cost. We're laying it all out on the table. That's what earthly financial advisors do. Right? These Edomites have financial advisors and consultants. Right? Before they invest $300 into Forex and NASDAQ and an up-and-coming company, they'll sit down and talk to the financial advisor. And the financial advisor will give them all the cons and the pros that may happen. Okay, look, if you invest $50,000 into this company, so and so might happen. They may potentially go bankrupt, or you're not going to be able to buy that yacht that you always wanted. You're going to have to take money out of your 401k and your pension plan and put it all in. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing? And this job may require you to travel. And when you invest in this company, you got to go to different states. You're going to miss your son's graduation. You may miss your wedding anniversary. And that guy will tell him all of this, man. He'll also say, look, this is an opportunity of the lifetime, but you're going to miss out on some things. Now, that guy who's investing, he has to sit there and count the cost and ask himself, is it worth it? And once he comes to the conclusion that it's worth it, then he has essentially taken on all of the losses that he knows he's going to have to deal with. And that's what you got to do when you come in this truth. You're going to take hits, losses, right? You're going to have gain and success, prosperity, affliction. You got to count it all, right? There's one more in that. It says, lucky, whether he have sufficient to finish it. Because you can't start this truth and then fall out. A lot of brothers, they start building, they lay their stone down, they start reading, they start studying. They might even join the camp. Next, maybe 3 years from now, they have a video, why I left the Hebrew Israelites. Why did I leave the Black Hebrew Israelite organization? What a cult I was in. They tried to control my life. Right? They told me I couldn't read all of these books. I was regulated by the Sabbath day. Because those guys didn't count the cost. They started to build. Next thing you know, they're making videos, man. Count the cost when you come in this truth. You got it, King.
Con. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2 and verse 17. This is what it all boils down to, man. It's Ecclesiastes 2:17. It says, therefore I hated life, man. So Solomon said he hated life. So you gotta hate this thing. You gotta be a damn fool to wake up in the morning and be happy for work. Yeah, man. You like your job? Yeah, I like my job. Yeah, how much do you make? Oh, I make this. People be getting into this thing like a creep, man. Yeah, my job. They laid out the donuts. And they have a 401k. The people actually brag about their damn jobs, man. Right? People go. This is how brain controlling this society is. They call something a college for you to love what you do for a living. I like cooking, so I'm gonna go to culinary arts school. I like being a damn engineer, so I could damn sweat like a damn monkey to work on engines all day. Or I want to be this, and you sitting up there paying money, getting brainwashed to think that this is something you should love doing, man. Now, if anybody had a so-called uncle or their father had a little bit of money or you was a little bit well off, they'll tell you as a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be this. And then you're programmed now to work toward this thing that you so-called love, go to school for it, get the job and work that every single day of your life, and you think you made it, man. That's not making it. That's a slave. That's a very short box to be in that they programmed you mentally to love, man. But Solomon and all his riches, his gold, right, his innumerable big mansion and everything that he had in his multiple vineyards and his servants and his singers, he said in all of this, it still wasn't enough. He said, therefore, I hated life because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous. It's grievous to wake up early in the morning, man. Some jobs, they'll make you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Like a thief. What are you doing up that early, man? Like a damn thief. They'll make you wake up 3 a.m. for no apparent reason. Go ahead, John.
And they coined the term early bird gets the worm, just so you can feel, encouraged. They coined that for a reason.
Con,
Just so you can, feel better about yourself, make you feel like you're doing something for a purpose.
con. I remember I had this one so-called job. I was waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was beating me up, man. Right, working all day. It says for the work, right, that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So waking up, right, going to sleep, all of this work under the sun, right, is grievous, man. And we hate this life, man. And we want to get the hell out of here. A lot of people, they love this society too much, man. That's why the Lord said this in First John, the classic, right? First John chapter 2, verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. And that's so hard for a lot of jakes, man. Because a lot of jakes only think loving the world just incorporates with money. No, loving the world is anything that's going to pull you out of this truth, man. Anything. Could be TV, could be your own wife. Anything that's in this world, if you love it, hey, the Lord is going to draw you out of this thing and give you over to your lust and your vanity. It's not always talking about being a rap star and a singer, man. It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh. And brothers can attest, even when we were in the world before we came into this truth, this wasn't it, man. This every weekend, partying or going out or smoking, it didn't feel right. It's like it's more to life than what brothers have been doing. And I even knew that in the world, man. The stuff I was doing, I said, it got to be more than this. What the hell is the point of this? What do you just get drunk until you get old? Or you just try to be a rap star? You just programmed to be an athlete? Like, why do I exist? Always had a lot of questions. And I remember when I was in the world one day, thou shalt not lie, I was driving, and a spirit just hopped on me. And I said, why does the so-called white man hate us so much? And I was thinking in the car, and I said, even if it started off with two men that had a feud, it would not continue for over hundreds and hundreds of years. And I always wondered, even on a deeper level, why were things the way they were. And a couple months later, I came into the truth, man. So it's that spirit, like in Song of Solomon, third chapter, yearning. And when you finally lay hold of Yahweh Shai, you can't let it go, man. This is it. It says, And if any Salaki man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. Because everything your eyes is going to lust after. It says, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away. That woman is going to pass away. That job opportunity is going to pass away. Everything that you lay eyes on a carnal, mortal sense is going to be destroyed, man. It says, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. And that's that same analogy like when you were a kid. You know, your parents may say, you know, clean your room, and then you can get a popsicle, whatever, or some snacks. You want the snacks. Now, everybody want it now. They don't understand that you laying up things that you can't see. Just because you can't see it don't mean you're not laying up innumerable riches, innumerable things that you're going to have in the latter days upon the earth, fulfilling your lot. But if you want to eat it now to enjoy 40 to 60 years in this mortal body and corruption, being an enemy to Yahabashim Yahushua, you're going to be destroyed.
Khan, I want to get this. I want to add to it. This is the book of Sirach. I want to get the second chapter, man. So that's what brothers have to understand, man. Right? This is the sincere milk of the word. You come in this truth, and you know you're watching videos, and you know you're getting into this thing. Don't worry about being the deepest Israelite. Right? Don't get caught up in vanity. Just focus on getting yourself built up, man. On learning the scriptures, reading, studying, like the brothers going into weighing the cost, or counting the cost rather, weighing things in the balance. That this thing is not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be a golden yellow brick road, man. There's not one man in the truth that I can think of that since he came in this truth, he has dealt with zero affliction, zero adversity. Well, he's not in the truth. If you're in the truth and you never receive chastisement, then you're in the world. You know, you're just living life, man. Because they haven't made in the world. Read Psalm 73. They got it made, man. I want to get this precept in Sirach chapter 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right? And you've come to serve the Lord, man. You found out that this was the truth. You were looking your whole life, or maybe not. Somebody just told you about it. Now you got to prepare your soul for temptation. And you don't even hear that word temptation like that in the world. That's not even like an everyday word, man. You don't run across that too often. Temptation is the spiritual demon Satan working on your flesh to influence you and make you go the hell off with things that are pleasurable to man. That is temptation. When you come in this truth, prepare yourself for temptation. All of the things that you found out you can't do, you're going to want to try to do them again. Because people are going to want to make you do them. Like we went into smoking weed, dealing with the women of the world, old exes, old friends. Prepare your soul for temptation. And you're going to want to go off. You're going to want to do those things that you know you're not supposed to do. You're going to want to smoke that weed. You're going to want to deal with that ex and break the Sabbath. You're going to want to go out to the club and get drunk. Because that's all you know. That's the flesh. But you got to prepare yourself, man, for temptation. You know, it reads, and this is the beautiful chapter, man. Sirach, the second chapter, I mean, it's a classic. Timeless. Yeah, bro, boy, I read that already. I read that when I first came to the truth. I don't read that no more. Well, brother, I mean, that's why you're going off right now. You thought that you can only read Sirach the first one time? That's wicked, man. I read that already. Why do you guys read in Sirach? Why don't you guys get into the parables? I want parables. Brother, you want parables, but you don't even know where your fringes at, man. Well, how to keep the Passover. And you're still smoking crack. Go ahead, y'all. Now, go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, see what you got to say. It's a little more than that.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
All right. It reads, I'm not going to read this whole thing because the whole chapter's fire, but I'm going to get a little more. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So if you wasn't going to deal with trouble, the Most High wouldn't have told you make not haste in time of trouble. Trouble's going to come your way through family, friends, the flesh, and you can't make haste in time of trouble, meaning soon as adversity comes your way, you can't be quick to leave the truth. That's Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. You know? So if you begin to start catching hell and dealing with affliction and trials and tribulations, you got to endure it. That's one thing you got to know about this truth. It's about endurance. The race is not to the swift. The Lord don't care how excited you are when you first found out about this truth. You got to endure. Verse Salakia, bear with me. Sirach chapter 2 and verse 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. So whatever you go through, you got to take it cheerfully. Yeah, you lost your job because you want to keep the Sabbath day. You don't have as much money as you used to have. Take it cheerfully because you're serving the Lord, not man. You're doing this for the kingdom, not for the world. Hey, a brother told me, he said his woman literally told him, it's me or that Bible. She told him that outright, straight up, it's me or the Bible. And that brother chose the Bible. And he lost his woman. And he had his head down, but he picked his head back up because he realized, look, this is for the Lord. And you got to endure, right? It reads, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So when you come into this truth, the Lord opens up that steel door and picks you up like this out of all love and just throws you in a furnace of, it's a big furnace, and it says in the Hebrew, adversity, right? In the Lashawan Kodash, it just says adversity, and it's flames, and you get thrown in there, right? And you got to stay in that furnace, man. And it's going to burn, but you got to kind of just buckle up and take it, man. You got to kind of deal with it and just rejoice in that furnace. And that furnace is all the affliction that you're going through. The old man coming back, you losing your job, your health might deteriorate. You might start getting a health problem. You might have been healthy in the world, man. Coming to this truth now, your knees are falling off. Your back is corruptible, right? You start getting sick out of nowhere. You know? Your damn dog died. A brother told me his dog died when he came into the truth. You know? He had his dog and just died as soon as he came into the truth. The Lord does these things, man. And you gotta abide that furnace. Like these people of the world, like I used that example before. When people want to join a gang or fraternity, they deal with the affliction, they deal with hazing. They're willing to get spanked by an adult man to join a fraternity. Have somebody spit at that movie, Burning Sands. Let that. Oh, you had some y'all done?
They cracked that egg yolk, put it in another man's mouth, I think, or somewhere else, and he had to spit it in that other man's mouth.
Yep.
And it was a train of man spit in the man's mouth with egg yolk. Like it was like 10 dudes down.
And
Nasty egg yolk.
Yep. And the last dude had to eat the egg.
Mm-hmm.
That's what man is willing to do. You're willing to dance and wear a mask and get branded with a Greek letter to join the fraternity. Just get jumped. Get popped, man. You know? You gotta do all these nasty games. And they love that, man. They do that for man. You mean to tell me you can't take affliction for the Most High? You gotta love that affliction. When people join gangs, they love that jump in part. They love getting jumped in. When you get jumped in, you get stumped out. Right? And they get up, they damn shirt all ripped up. lost some teeth, may have a black eye, but they smiling, man. Because they finally made it. But while they was getting jumped in, that's that furnace. They was loving it. So you can't even join the damn gang without going through the furnace, man. These dudes are sick in their mind
Right.
to get jumped in. Oh, go ahead, King.
So like I was just about to say, I earned my stripe spirit.
Yeah, earn my stripes, man. You got your behind beat by 40 men, broken ribs. Oh, he held it down. Oh, you took that you know how you took that one, man. You took that one on the chin. You got a heart. All right, you got a heart. I didn't think you got a heart, man. That's what Jake like to say after they bust your damn teeth in your mouth. So now you can hold the gun sideways like a damn thing in the movie, man. And miss. You know? You have to take this affliction for the Most High. They tell you that in the world. Anything worth, anything worth good is worth the wait, paraphrasing. Something of that nature. You know? So when you're going through the furnace, you gotta love that furnace, because that furnace is used to remove anything that's impure and anything that's holding you back from the Most High. The brothers got it.
God, this is from that movie School Days, man. That was Half Pint. Remember I wear them thick goggles? He had a
Right.
G on his name. And at the end, you know, he said, I got my jacket. I got it. He was kind of banging on his cousin's door at midnight, you know. He said, I got it. I finally did it. And, you know, his cousin kind of inquired, like, what you mean? What's going on? And, he was ashamed to tell him, how he got it all. He had to kind of pimp out Eve. It was a mess. Go watch the movie, right? But I want to get into the verse. This is, let me pull it up again. 2 Samuel 23:20. All right. You're going to be facing demons, spirits. You got to endure in this thing. And that was a spirit, because I was actually meditating on that at work. And I was thinking to myself, this is nuts, because you can know the precepts, the breakdowns, but if you don't know how to spiritually endure, then you're finished. So that's 2 Samuel 23:20. Because we know brothers that know a whole lot of precepts, right? They got all access to these videos, these breakdowns. And we know certain brothers, they'll sharpen it, but they didn't know how to endure. 2 Samuel, let me say it one more time, 23:20. And it reads, and Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of the pit in times of snow, right? Hey, so the only reason why I bring this up is going to be certain situations. Spiritually, we're going to have to fight that lion on the left-hand side in the midst of these elements. And you have to endure and overcome and slay and destroy that lion. You have to break the teeth of that lion. All right, as we keep mentioning, demons will attack you. Spirits will jump on people to attack you. But it's all about how you maneuver and how you wisely handle the situation. All right. You definitely can't forget that you signed up for this. Like with any job, any school that you apply to, there are certain rules and regulations that you have to abide by. There are certain tasks and things that you're required to do. But the question is, will you do it? All right. This is Jeremiah 26:9. Why hast thou prophesied in the name of the Lord, saying, this house shall be like Shiloh, and this city shall be desolate without an inhabitant? And all the people were gathered against Jeremiah in the house of the Lord. Jeremiah was surrounded by these people, and they were mad. They wasn't there bearing gifts and frankincense and myrrh. They were upset and livid, saying, why are you speaking evil against us? Why are you prophesying destruction? Right? And it reads, when the princes of Judah heard these things, they came up from the king's houses unto the house of the Lord, and sat down at the entry of the new gate of the Lord's house. Then spake the priests and the prophets and the princes, and to all the people, saying, this man is worthy to die, for he hath prophesied against this city, as ye have heard with your ears. And that's what we do every Friday and Saturday. Why? Why are we doing it? Because as I mentioned before, and we signed up for it. The Lord said, hey, go into the highways and byways, right? And surely we know what happens when we're in the highways and byways. Our life is on the line. Brothers in Detroit kind of got beer bottles thrown at them and they ducked it. Brothers in Baltimore, they had to fight dykes. They got guns pointing at their face. Hey, is that going to stop us from going out again? La. You had a man, he lifted up his woman's skirt and slapped her butt in front of us. It's nothing but mayhem and folly up here, man. And it's vexing. It's very vexing. That literally happened. He said, yeah, you want that? And kept walking. It was off. So let me continue. Verse 12. Then spake Jeremiah unto all the princes and to all the people, saying, the Lord sent me to prophesy against the house. Hey, that's mighty. Now he could have said, well, hold up. I really meant this. No, hey, he stood strong. He still stood strong. Jeremiah speaking to all the princes and to all the people, saying, the Lord sent me to prophesy against this house and against this city, all the words that ye have heard. Therefore now amend your ways and your doings, and obey the voice of the Lord your God, and the Lord will repent him of the evil that he hath pronounced against you. As for behold, I am in your hand. Do with me as seemeth good and meet unto you. Like, hey, I don't really give a damn. You can do what you want to me. That's not going to stop the will of the Lord. Verse 15. But know ye for certain. And he's speaking kind of bold against these people. He don't care because he has nothing left to lose. Right? You got nothing left to lose, and you're going to speak bold. All right? You don't really give a dang. All right? Now you could have said, well, hold up, maybe you can work it out. I'll pray to the Lord. I'll throw up a few sacrifices. Just don't kill me. But he said this, but know ye for certain that if ye put me to death, ye shall surely bring innocent blood upon yourselves and upon this city and upon the inhabitants thereof. For of a truth, the Lord has sent me unto you to speak all these words in your ears. Then final verse. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and to the prophets, this man is not worthy to die, for he had spoken to us in the name of the Lord our God. See what happened when you stand strong. You know, now if you want to find out what happens next, you got to read Jeremiah, right? But nevertheless, the point is, hey, you're going to be facing certain adversity to the point where people are going to kill you. Brothers got their back kind of stabbed. You know, my uncle said, I'm going to crush you. My uncle said, I'm going to lay you flat, boy. He said that to me. And he always do it with nobody around. He said, I'm going to lay you flat. And then when my grandparents came in, they said, what are you doing? Threatening him? And he put his head down. He said, nah. It was real terrible. He was real weak for that. I remember that like yesterday. He said, nah. He was threatening me. So he lied to his elders, you know. But I still said, hey, you know, still had the Bible in my hand. I was like this. And I said, it is what it is.
Con, let me get in there. All right. So brothers be catching hell in this thing, man. Right? Hey, we can write a damn big ass novel about this thing, man. A little amount of years we've been in this thing, all the hell we caught. Hey, just last week I got in two car accidents, man. So Satan running to and fro, like, I mean, to and fro, trying to kill brothers. And this isn't a game. You know, brothers, you know, they say stuff, but it's the truth, right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 30, and verse number 5. Book of Psalms, chapter 30, and verse 5. For his anger endureth but a moment, and his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And brothers got to keep that in their mind. Because through the furnace of adversity, everybody always screaming, it's too hot. I can't handle it. I have to run away. I can't do this anymore. I have to give up everything. And then they start plucking out their damn hair. Next thing you know, they're in the world, man. Hey, the Lord said what? Weeping may endure for a night. Now that night may go by like 17 nights. It may go by extremely slow. You catching hell. Your mom just died. Just lost your job. You don't know what the hell's going on. The wisdom is weighing on you too deep, and it's pressing you down, and it feel like it's no just balance. that night is going to be hell for a lot of brothers, man. It said, but joy cometh in the morning. And you got to understand that you have to endure to get to the morning. Now, the morning is not going to come when you want it to, man. You're not the Most High. You're not going to snap your fingers. I heard somebody say, all right, Lord, it's enough. It's enough. I had enough. They was getting afflicted, and they said, all right, I had enough. You don't tell the Lord you had enough, man. It's off. Hey, if anything, the Lord's going to inflict more pain upon you, man. You can't say I had enough. I'm tired. I learned my lesson. Okay, you got it. This is not the world, man. It says what? Hey, number 6. Hey, this is a mean chapter through the Spirit. It say, and in my prosperity, I said, I shall never be moved. So in brothers' prosperity, they saying, you know what? I'll never be moved. I'll be okay. I'll endure this. I'll endure that. Just like Job, the 4th chapter, man. They had to get on Job, man. Thou hast instructed many, and have been a teacher of babes. But then it is comest to thou, and thou faintest, paraphrase. So, David said, in my prosperity, I said I would never be moved. And a lot of people say they're going to come into this truth. I'm never going to be moved. I'm going to endure. I'm the elect. A lot of brothers get bold, man. Lord give you a little bit of knowledge, and now you the elect. Now you King David. Now you Abraham. Now you all of the men. You just anybody. You just switching it up. I'm Abraham this week. Now I'm Jeremiah next week. Just got a damn bold demon on you. A says, Lord, by thy favor thou hast made my mountain to stand strong. Thou didst hide thy face, and I was troubled. So if the Lord had his face from David, think about you. And the Lord not going to always, for lack of better terms, give you everything you need at the moment, man. He's going to hide his face from you, man. The Lord may hide your face when you're going off. Now, you went off last night. Now, the Lord hid his face from you the whole day. The whole day, you don't have the spirit, the zealousness you had yesterday. You don't remember the precepts like you did yesterday. You don't want to read like you did yesterday. That's the Lord's face being turned for a dispensation of time. Till you beseech him with prayer and fasting and a contrite heart for the Lord to look upon you, man. It says what? I cried unto thee, O Lord, and unto the Lord I made supplications. Now I want to jump down to verse 11. It says, thou hast turned me from my mourning into dancing. So you're going to go from mourning to dancing. You're going to go from the nighttime to the morning. You're going to go from what? Affliction to joy. And that's all the just balance. So don't think you're going to get that joy when you want to, man. You have to go through the fire. Hey, you going morning is crying and lamentation. But after that, David said, look, man, I was dancing. And you know, David get down with dancing. David loves dancing. It says, thou hast turned me from my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praises to thee and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thee thanks forever. Brother Scott.
God. And I wanna get this in Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter. So brothers touching on a lot of points, man. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 8 and 1. All the commandments, because when you come into the truth, another thing brothers got to understand, and sisters, is the Most High is not just going to take you out of the world and immediately just put you in the kingdom. Right? That's not how it works, man. If the Most High wanted it to be so, then surely it will be done. You have to be brought out of the world and put on trial. This is the like the wilderness all over again, man. You're living in a time of essentially, and America's a wilderness. Right? Let me get that in Psalm chapter 63. Right? And the Lord has you in his wilderness to see if you're going to endure. How many people endured? And the Lord took Israel out of the world, man, out of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness. And only 2 people made it that left Egypt, Joshua and Caleb. Everybody else died. And the Lord bring a lot of people out the world, man. You know how many people found out, before I get these precepts, let me get this in Matthew. You know how many people found out that they was Israelites? And you were brought into this wilderness too, man. Right? But you didn't endure like your forefathers because you didn't believe. So when you come into this truth, it's the same thing as Deuteronomy. Same thing as Numbers. But it's all spiritual. Right? This is Matthew chapter 20. And it's like I want Matthew, bear with me, chapter 20 and 16. It reads, Matthew 20:16. So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. So many people are going to be called into this truth, man. Many, I mean, millions of people. And count it all joy when you come into this truth that the Lord called you. But now it's not enough for the Lord to call you. It's not enough. That's like you get called and selected to try out for a team. A lot of people go to tryouts. Why would you be geeked and excited that you made it to tryouts or the practice squad? You got people that when they make the practice squad to a team, they go toast, man. Pop champagne and have a steak dinner because they made it to the practice squad. Is that the end all be all? No, you got to make it to the real team. You got to make it to the actual team. Then you got to make it to the damn playoffs, then the Super Bowl championship, whatever. So right now, this is the practice squad. We're still trying to make the team. Yeah, we were called. It's open tryouts. And the Lord kind of pulled us out the streets. That's Matthew the 20th chapter. He hired us. He said, what are you doing? Let me get that in Matthew 20 at 1. It reads, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. So that's the Lord who plucked you up out the streets and brought you into the vineyard, meaning the nation of Israel. Pursuant to Isaiah chapter 5 and 6 on down. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And that penny a day is the kingdom. The Most High chose you and said, okay, I'm going to bring you out the world, but you have to work for me and do the work of the Most High, and you'll get a reward at the end. And a lot of people got caught, man. And said unto them, go ye also into the, it's like I went 3, Matthew 20 and 3. And he went out about the 3rd hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. So the Lord went out and chose you out the streets and said, here, come work in this truth. Come into this vineyard. We didn't choose the Most High. None of us chose to come into the truth. We sat down, we were somewhere in the world doing God knows what, and we had an epiphany and said, I think I feel like coming into the truth. No, the Lord chose you. Or he called you, rather. He called a lot of people from different walks of life, different places on the earth, different backgrounds, different war stories, all types of whatever, man. From many land masses. But back in Matthew 20 and 16, so the last shall be first, and the first last. For many, right? For many be called, but few chosen. Let's go to the book of Jude. And we're striving to be the chosen. When you come into this truth, it's not the end all be all. Don't think that you just made it to the kingdom. You're in the practice squad. Right now, we're in the practice squad. We don't know if we're made it, man. We're still trying to make it. You know? We're trying to impress the coach, if you can understand. We're showing up early to practice. We're watching game film. We're staying late. We're at the workplace, raising our hands, saying, yeah, we'll work overtime. While everybody else goes to happy hour and have a few drinks. We're still at the office crunching numbers. That's the mentality you have to get that promotion at the workplace, man. Now, I want to get this in Jude real quick. I got this real quick. This is the book of Jude. Dealing with this concept of us being in this wilderness. Jude chapter 1 and verse 4. It reads, for there are certain men crept in unawares. So just because you're in this truth, you don't want to be one of the brothers crept in unawares. Yeah, the Lord kind of called you, but he called you to make an example of you. A lot of people got called into this truth just to be made an example of. That happened in the wilderness. Korah, Dathan, and Abraham were created and brought out of Egypt just to be killed. So the Lord could bring you out just to make an example out of you. And they didn't know that. Did Korah really know that when they was walking through the Red Sea? Oh wow, they was looking, oh wow, oh geez. But they couldn't endure. And then the Lord showed you why he made them and opened the earth up Aaron was brought out. Who would have thought Aaron would have went off in the wilderness and made a golden calf and got stripped of his garments and given to his son? Who would have thought these things, man? We don't know our latter end in this truth. That happened to Aaron, and he was the high priest. That's after he had all of the garments put on him. The Lord stripped him of them. So you were called, but we have to fight to be the chosen. That's what this thing is about. It's about fighting, right? Now this, I'm gonna read on. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, meaning they were created to be destroyed. They were brought out of Egypt just to die. They were saved to be killed. Ungodly men turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Here's the point I want in verse 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Why is Jude saying that? He's telling you what I'm saying through the Spirit. I'm telling you what Jude is saying. The Lord brings people out of the world and destroys them, huh? He said, remember this. Because remember, Jude, he's attacking the heretics of the church. So the Lord brings people out of Christianity, off of drugs, off of crack, off of being a whoremonger, from being a whore, from doing all manner of lewdness, and brings you in this thing and gets rid of you. He said, I'm going to remind you what time it is. This ain't sweet. He said, I will therefore put you in remembrance. Because Jake, you think this is the end all be all. You made it already. Jude said, look, I'm going to remind you what the hell happened 4,000 years ago in the time of the wilderness. Don't you know that all those men died, even though they made it out of Egypt? They all died. Talking about manna. I got a cucumber. I want to do this. I want to do that. Right? It reads, afterward destroyed them that believe not. So you got to fight in this thing. You come into this truth, you're in the wilderness. And I'm going to get one more precept real quick. This Deuteronomy 8. And you got to survive this wilderness, man. Right? This is the time of Acts all over again. We're living in the time of the Gospels again. We're living in the time of Judges again. And we're living in the time of Deuteronomy again, man. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 8. Because remember, Deuteronomy is that chosen generation being given the commandments a second time, or for the first time, rather, to go into the promised land. So that's this generation. Right? This Deuteronomy, this is the last one I'm going to get, chapter 8 and 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. So the Lord brought you into this wilderness, this grace, to see if you're really going to endure. Are you going to keep the commandments or not? Are you going to fall out and go back in the world? Are you going to let temptation take hold on you? This is the proving period. This isn't nothing to glory of. Yeah, we give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shah, of course, but not to man and our works. We were called. And we got to fight hard as hell to try to make it, man. You know? So the Lord brought us into this thing to prove us, to see if we're going to keep the commandments or not. The brothers got it.
I got a quick precept. The second Maccabees 9 and 20, just to land back off what you were saying. Yeah, we may be in the truth, but you don't know your lot. You don't know your end. Most I can take you out the game for any second. It's like in any second. All right. Second Maccabees 10 and 20. Now they that were with Simon, being led with covetousness, were persuaded for money through certain of those that were in the castle, and took 70,000 drachmas, and let some of them escape. But when it was told Maccabeus what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. Now, I'm sure Simon, Maccabees, they would have never thought these men would do such a thing. Yet the Lord had them do it for a reason. There's going to be people last second that do folly, do all manner of wickedness. Again, you got to be spiritually strong. You got to be mentally, when I say mentally, I really mean spiritually strong. All right. One more precept. Sirach 33:19. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. Don't move in the spirit of Esau. You had it all, but you sold it. You gave it away for nothing. Right? That's what Esau did essentially. He had it all, but he gave it up. He gave up his birthright for uncooked stew and lentils. You got it.
Yeah, quick point. He gave up eternal glory for temporary pleasure. And that's what Jake do every time they go to hell off. You're an Edomite because you sin for temporary lust and vanity and deny eternal pleasure. It's like you got a king.
Yeah, you're Esau. We're going to call you Esau now. Sirach 34 and 20. Salakia. Sirach 34 and let me see what is it. 20. I lost it. You got it. I got to find it again.
Let me bring this up. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 24. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God, rather to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, man. Right? And that's what you got. You got to love affliction. That's what it boils down to, man. You got to love affliction, love chastisement, love getting whipped, man. Right? And that's love. When you show affliction and you sit there, you grab your child up, you beat them, you direct them, you counsel them, you teach them, you do everything you have to do as a parent. That's love, man. If your children coming in all times of the night, oh, how was the party? Oh, what happened? Oh, I remember when I was your age. That's somebody that doesn't care, man. Your children all out the street. They got 15 random numbers texting them, and you only know one of their friends. They're leaving the house all times of the night. You don't know what the hell is going on in your household. That's not a good father, man. Hey, the Most High loves afflicting and chastising us, man, because that's love. That's direction. To let you know every single time you went off and you erred, right, with chastisement, hey, that's a beautiful thing. Because then that shows you what you need to be examining, and it corrects you of what you need to be doing. It says, rather to suffer affliction, right? It's like you're choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God, rather to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And it said for a season. Because the season is small, man. It was just wintertime. It's not wintertime no more. That thing went by like that. And I remember when it came in. So the season is very fast. And you can enjoy all of that. The women, the getting drunk, the going out, the flesh, the partying, all of that. That's only going to last for a dispensation of time. And then you're going to get sifted out. The Lord's going to kill you. This 1 Corinthians 10 and 6 says, now these things were our examples. So when you look at all of the scriptures and all the accounts, it's examples. Don't just read this. Oh, yeah, he was off. Yeah, he was wicked. Then you flip the page, man, or you make a joke out of it. This is literally our forefathers that went the hell off, and we got to look at it as an example. A lot of brothers, they read it. Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah. Oh, well. No, what could I learn from it? What did he do that the Lord hated? You got to know a lot about your Heavenly Father and not just the judgments, man. There's more to the Bible than just affliction and judgments. Oh, yeah, I know Moab's judgment. I know Esau's judgment. I know this judgment. No, what about what you can do than not be hated in the eyes of the Lord? What does the Lord hate? What does the Lord love? What does the Lord cherish and is chosen? Why did the Lord pick David, and what did he admire out of David? What is his attributes? Why did the Lord pick Abraham to be the father? Why was this man a righteous king? And why was his son righteous after him? And why was this king wicked? And why was his son wicked after him? These are examples all throughout the scriptures and how you must follow. It says, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, right, spiritual or physical, as some of them committed and fell in one day 320,000. So the Lord will wipe out a whole city, man. The Lord will kill your whole block, your whole lineage. And the Lord will kill your son after you for wickedness that you've committed, man. The Lord, he don't play, man. So you gotta understand who you serve. And the deeper you are in this thing, like they got the mafia, so called. And then you start off, I would assume, from the movies, a damn bag boy, right? Then from the bag boy, you work yourself up into the building. Now you hold in the door. You that guy that goes like this. What's the name? And then you go like that. Then you work your damn way up from that. Now you going on the runs in the trucks at night, throwing the bags out the damn back. Then from there, you kind of working your way up. And it's true, when you come in this thing, you working your way up with more affliction, more understanding, right? That's Luke, the 12th chapter. But let me get that real fast. And the more you know, the more the Lord is going to require of you, man. The less you know, the more you have to learn, right? Because you don't want to be a dummy in this thing. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47. It says what? And the servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, should be beaten with many stripes. Look how many people that faithfully getting on these lives. I mean, faithfully. We see the same names all the time. Faithfully. And they're the first ones on. You got certain brothers like, you're late. Where you at? They pressing brothers out, man. Brothers got technical difficulties, whatever the case may be, whatever was going on. Hey, brothers like, where you at, man? So, brother, they hungry and thirsty, like Matthew the 5th chapter say, for righteousness. Hey, the Lord said, neither did according to his will should be beaten with many stripes. That's many afflictions. A larger cup to drink than a lot of other men are going to have to drink, man. A bigger lot. More punishment, more sin. If somebody at a rate of being in the true 5 years pick up a so-called cigarette or weed, then somebody just coming in, the Lord may not have mercy on you. Now when you're new, you're twiddling your thumbs, you got a big backpack on with foggy glasses, and the Lord may look at you and have compassion. But after he done looked 5 times on you and you sitting up there doing the same thing over and over and over, hey, man, the Lord might pluck you out of this thing, man. It says what? But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And that's not talking about giving anything carnal. The Lord may give you the understanding of Luke, Matthew, John. You understand Ezekiel. He may break down to you certain things that are hid in Revelation, certain things in the epistles that men don't know the history in. Whatever the Lord give you, that's going into the talents that you have to flip, because he's going to require that much more of you. It says, for whom so much is given, of him shall be much required. And you can't be stingy. Oh, I don't feel like counseling. I don't feel like going on the lives. I don't feel like reading. The Lord put a stronger spirit on you to help those other brothers out. So if you fall down, everybody else falls down, man. If you give up, that could be an influence to have everybody else give up, man. I wouldn't imagine if I'm just coming into the truth and I was watching an elder or whoever the Lord chooses to let shine for me to see the truth, if that person fell out and I was only a week in the truth and I saw no more videos and I didn't know where the hell to click next. I may start getting idle. I may not be rooted. So you don't know the effect certain brothers have on the next man, right? It says what? To the Salakia, and to whom much men have committed, much of him they will ask the more. So this lot that you're in is only going to get stronger. You being a week in the truth is going to turn into a month if we still here, which is going to turn into 3 months, which is going to turn into more responsibilities, more reading, more understanding. You have to continue to bring forth fruit on the tree. Now, when the Lord, which is the husbandman, he looked down on the trees, he's not looking for that tree that's stagnant. It's just blowing in the wind, just hanging out in the damn garden, like a trespasser, just hanging out. No, you got to be rooted in this thing, bringing forth fruit constantly. Whether that's understanding something in geography, understanding a line double to that, which is you looked over names, timelines. You have to be bringing forth fruit every day, and if you're not, the Lord is going to visit you and pluck you out by the roots. So always keep in mind too, as you grow in this truth, You got to bring forth more, and the Lord is going to require more from you.
And I'm gonna add. I'm gonna go to St. John, one of my favorite chapters, chapter 15:1. Right, this Yahweh Shah speaking. It reads, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit." So if you come, when you come into this truth and you're called by the Most High, through his son Yahweh Shai, like the brother was saying, you have to bear fruit. It's not talking about literal food that you eat. Your fruit are your works, your actions, right? Love towards your brother, laws, statutes, commandments, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You have to bear fruit. And now it says, "And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that it may bring forth more fruit." So even if you're bringing forth more fruit, what husbandmen do is they'll prune and they'll cut off twigs and they'll fertilize the tree. They'll take care of the tree, man. They won't let a tree just bear fruit and just let anything happen to it. That's their prized possession. So they'll purge it. They'll, like I said, fertilize it, cut off the twigs, and make sure there's no beast on it so it can keep bringing forth more fruit. Right? Reading on. "Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you." What does the word abide mean? Live. You have to live in this word. When you come in this truth, this is your main thing. This your woman, man. You know? When you come into this truth, a lot of brothers, they want a wife. This is your wife, man. This the main squeeze, how they say in the world, man. This what you was waiting on. And you have to abide and live in this thing. You should be reading constantly, studying, praying. You understand? Eventually you get on a level when you're fasting, you know? And once you live in this thing, you're going to begin to what? Gain and gain and gain. It reads, "Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye except ye abide in me." So stay in this truth, man. Follow the commandments. You understand? Have some discipline. Stay in the word, and you'll see the increase. You'll begin to notice that now you have you're remembering precepts. You're applying precepts, right? You're keeping the commandments, and you'll see yourself kind of growing this thing, man. That's if you abide in Yahweh Shah. You can't take this truth and treat it like it's some part-time job when you barely show up. Damn part-time job at the damn restaurant or something, man. You only work 15 hours a week. You can't read every other day, right? Your Bible can't be sitting around collecting dust. When you come in this truth, abide and stay in his word. Reading on. "I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned." So if you're not bringing forth fruit, the Lord is going to destroy you and spew you out and send you back in the world. There's a lot of people who was in this thing, and they were just taking their time. They knew about the fringes, and they took 4 years to get them. They keep seeing us read that red book, and they keep saying, "One day I'll get one." They keep buying weed and blunts instead of buying their apocrypha. They refuse to grow their beard out. They do not want to keep the Sabbath day. You can't play with the Most High, man. He's going to take that understanding from you and give it to the next man. As just as many people come into the truth, people fall out. You know, I'm led to believe for every one person that comes in the truth, somebody falls out. More people are going to die than make it. More people are going to be destroyed when Yahweh Shah returns than actually kind of get out of here. All right, let's read on. It reads, If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples. So that's how you glorify the Father. And I want to make another quick point too. Side note, when you come in this truth, you have to understand it's not for vanity. It's not to be seen. It's not to get the most women. It's not for the most views and the most likes and the most followers. Right? It's not for who's the deepest. What else? It's not for just getting drunk.
You say money?
Money is not for money.
Garments.
Garments, who has the fanciest garment, who got the most bread. That's not what it's about. It's not about man pleasing, right? It's about serving the Most High. It's about serving Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, and being obedient to the word and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and its adversity and the hell that you're in. That's what it's about. Ain't about nothing else. And one brother came in this truth. He said, "Oh man, these women, I gotta get them all." Well, what do you mean you gotta get them all, brother? You know, brothers come in this truth for the wrong reason. They want to be the number one rapper. When did the Most High say be the number one rapper? Right? Where is it at? Right after the book of Revelation, it says, "Surely thou shalt become the mightiest rapper. Though thou livest in years, twice told, thou shalt prevail with the mic in thine hand." Right? And thou shalt verbally assault the damn. That's not in the Bible, man. When did the Most High say thou shalt verbally assault the speaker? Right? Take you 10,000 men. That's not in the Bible. When did the Most High say, when thou comest into the truth, surely thou shalt make an increase in your bank account, but only shalt thou go into Wells Fargo. For surely if thou goest to Bank of America, that's not in the Bible. So these brothers, man, that come in this thing, they want to start a payroll or be on a bankroll or come in this thing for the wrong reason. And the Lord see you, man. Let me get this quick precept real quick. That's Sirach, the first chapter. Right? This is Sirach chapter 1 and verse 30. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. Because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. So if you don't come into this truth to fear the Lord, you got deceit in your mind, the Lord is going to expose you. You're going to be on a forefront. And he might keep you in this thing, huh, for a few years, just to expose you. So be sincere. The Lord said in Sirach 5 and 11, let me get that real quick. This truth is about being sincere. Don't let no man beguile you and corrupt you. A lot of people prey on people when they come into this truth. Like a damn pedophile, man. They see brothers coming to truth. Newborn babes. How sick is that? You seeing newborn babes and you getting off on that, man.
They're perverts.
You're like a pervert, man. Let's turn in the grace of the Most High to lasciviousness. How do you see newborn babes fresh out the mother's womb and you licking your damn chops? Hey, brothers, they'll prey on you in this thing. They'll try to manipulate you, beguile you. So you want to come in this thing sincere, and you want to pray for discernment when you come in this truth too. Pray that the Lord guide you in the right direction, and he establish your way in truth. You know, those are beautiful things to pray for when you come in this truth. Pray for a sincere spirit, man. The Lord said in Job 17 and 8 on down, he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. So you want to pray for clean hands, a clean heart, a sincere spirit, discernment. Right? This is Sirach chapter 5 and 11. Be swift to hear and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. So you want to be sincere in this thing, man. You don't want to have no guile in your spirit. Are you in this thing for women to be seen? Or are you in this thing to serve the Most High? And those are the brothers that's going to increase. The brothers that are clean and sincere. The Lord is not increasing the nigga unless he's going to increase him to destroy him. But brothers got it.
Two quick precepts. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter. Let me get the other one real quick. This is Iraq 34 and 10. All right. So if I'm not mistaken, the title of this is Things to Expect Coming to the Truth. All right. He that hath no experience, it's like he that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence. And on a spiritual level, we got a couple of steps, being in this walk. And this, our couple is minute to the elders and brothers, of course, that's been in this thing longer. But nevertheless, you do have brothers that have, certain experiences when it comes to with dealing with situations, So all the precepts that's flying out through the spirit, apparatus that Israel will apply to their life. All the examples, all the situations, take heed to it, and then, reflect upon your life and kind of jot down what things need to be worked on. What things can I get stronger at? How am I lacking in serving the Lord? So it's all about growing in this thing and constantly enduring and doing the work, non-stop despite the circumstances. Let me get this real quick. In Second Esdras, chapter 8, verse 40. And it reads, like as I have spoken now, so shall it come to pass. For the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planted many trees. And that's us through the spirit, right? We planting all these seeds upon the ground. All right, despite it being a little bit of rain, it being super cold, we still planted. We're still doing the work. And yet, thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up. Neither doth all that is planted take root. Even so it of them that are sown in the world, they shall not all be saved. Right? And that's another thing to really understand coming into the truth. Not everybody's going to be saved. Hell, you don't even know if you're going to be saved. All right? Because somebody told you the truth. Right? They planted that seed, and you're still that seed growing. All right? But it's all of the will of the Lord if he wants to preserve you until the very end or not. That's why you have to remain humble and meek. After all, it says the meek will be granted the kingdom of heaven. Because you're not really expecting anything. When you got a kid that doesn't expect much, you want to give him the whole world. As opposed if he's real arrogant, yeah, I'm spoiled. I know I'm going to get this. You don't want to give him nothing. He doesn't have any idea of, of nothing. So I yield.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 9. It say, for this cause, we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you and to desire that ye may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding. So, Paul was praying for this church since the day they heard the truth, man. And the day since you heard the truth, you got to pray that the Lord increases you in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Faith without works is dead. You can't just say, I'm in this truth now and watch videos. You can't be a damn binge watcher of videos all day. You got to read for yourself. Stop depending on brothers and videos and breakdowns. At some type of point, you got to grow up in this truth, man. I never thought, nor did I ever desire to be, nor did I ever try to work on being a teacher. It just happened through the spirit. I just was studying, not even like you got people that study for an exam and they're up all night studying for an exam. It just was naturally like I was studying for a damn exam, man. I was highlighting, going through this. I was trying to remember precepts. I was just trying to do as much as I could and soak all of it in. And, through the spirit, the Lord, through his grace and mercy, the little that I do know, I'm teaching it, man. And the same with other brothers. When you see people on a lower state or small, you got to lift them up and pray for them because they don't know what's going on. They have no idea what this truth is about. It's up for you, that next generation, that next person to guide them and lift them up in this thing, man. It says that ye may walk worthily of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. That's what it's about. And a lot of people, they jump into the truth and they've never read the first 5 books. They start off in Revelation, second Esdras. They start off in Psalms. Though they start off in the New Testament. They're kind of all over the place. That's why this is a very good Through the Spirit video, because you got to know what to read. You should start off with the law. Now, damn near everything is probably going to go over your head, but what you do know in the law will be a foundation laid. Now, that's why we go back and we read things again over and over and over. The first time I read Philippians, I didn't know what was going on. I took a little bit from it and applied it. Then I read it again. Then I got more precepts that I didn't know last time. Then I read it again. Now I'm knowing about the history, when it was written, who read it. Then I'll read it again. Now I'm linking up different churches on a journey when Paul was traveling. The more you read something, the more you're going to uncover what the Lord has put down. The less you read, the more you treat the Bible as if it's a distant cousin, an uncle you hate, a grandmother that's sick in a nursing home, right? The more the Lord, your fruit is going to declare, man. Whatever's on your tree, your fruit's going to show you. You don't have to see somebody reading. You don't have to witness somebody fasting. Their light shining and the understanding that the Lord is imputing them with is going to be all seen through the works that they've been putting in this thing. Just like a brother, he could be in the gym all day. You never seen him in the gym. Soon as it's time to play, he's balling out. He's never tired because he's always on that treadmill. And the Lord said, strengthened with all might, according to his glorious power, unto all patience and long suffering, with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. So the Lord said, look, since the day ye heard it, continue to be built up with spiritual understanding, wisdom, and understanding the knowledge of the Lord. And that all starts with a first solid foundation. You should read the law. Then you should know what books go together. Should know the rebuilding period. Nehemiah, Ezra, First Esdras. You understand Zechariah. All of these books, Haggai, they all go together. Then you should know the Kings, First and Second Kings, the Chronicles, Jeremiah. You understand Ezekiel. You should know all of the books, the Babylonian Empire, Judah, that all go together. Then as far as prophecy, you got to know what prophecy books go together as well as precepts. And all of that happens over time, but you have to be thirsty for it. Brothers got it.
Quick point. Jake, you're thirsty to know all the cheat codes. You're thirsty to know all the stats of these NBA players, grown men. You know another man's stats, how tall he is, where he was born. You know everything about him. But what do you know about the scriptures? What do you know about your forefathers? What was Jeremiah doing during his time? Right? What was the occupation of Tobit's cousin? Right? What were they doing? What was the setting? What was the lifestyle? What was the currency? You should know the Bible like the back of your hand. Right? Whatever you knew in the world, up and down, all around, you have to take that same energy and apply it to the scriptures, man. In the world, I know brothers that was into Pokemon. You show them a Pokemon, they name all the Pokemons, the type, where you can catch it, all of that stuff, you know? But now you gotta take that energy and apply it to the scriptures so you can really be in this thing. Because Psalms 23 is a true, is a true saying. This is your rest, this is your place of comfort. The same way you walk through the grass, the meadows, you kind of feel tranquil, kind of feel relaxed. Hey, that's how you should be in the scriptures, man. You got it.
I want to make one quick point too. And unless you know, the more vulnerable you are to be sifted out with a doctrine or somebody saying, well, that's not true. Because when you really understand the Bible in 1959, and then they start saying stuff, and then you get confounded and you're not rooted, the more deeper you are with the understanding, the less you'll be able to be shaken. I just wanted to bring that up.
All right. You got it.
Let me bring this out. Yeah, you need that foundation. We're gonna be tossed to and fro and shaken with the wind, and that wind will knock your damn fruit off your tree, man, and pluck you up by the roots. Then ultimately get you destroyed, man. But I wanted to get this in Psalms chapter 42 and verse 1. It reads, as the hart panteth after the water brooks. So panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for the Most High, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before my God? That's the mentality you want to have. He's literally thirsty for the Most High. You know what Jake do in the world? That's the saying in the world. They say you thirsty. We all know what that means to a thirsty Jake in the world. If a woman say, "Look, you thirsty," he's doing what they say he's doing the most. He's going above and beyond. He might be calling her all the time, right? He might not take no for an answer. Hey, these guys, they don't take no for an answer, man. Right? These guys, they talking to these women at the gas station. I got a boy, so. Well, what that mean? Right? Well, I'm busy. Well, hey, look, we all busy too. Right? Well, I gotta go to work. Oh, well, where you work at? Oh, I'm leaving now. Can I go with you? Right? And that guy, he's trying very, very hard. Desperate. He needs her. He'll hop in the car. Hey, these guys, they'll get mad, man. When these women deny him. And they'll start cussing them out. Right? Well, anybody wants you when you so and so and so and so. See, one guy busted his woman windows out, man. One guy stalked her out the Walmart. They had the camera up there. He stalked her out the Walmart parking lot to her damn car, man. And said, "You sure you don't need any help?" He walked all the way out without, it didn't pay for nothing. That's thirsty in the world. Imagine being physically thirsty. Imagine not having nothing to drink. If you don't drink no water for one day, you feel it. Imagine not reading for one day. That's what happens to your soul. Imagine not reading for damn 8 hours. If you don't drink no water in like 8 hours, 5 hours, you feel it, man. Your tongue start getting dry. You know, your throat start getting parched. You irritated. Imagine not drinking water for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. You'll feel it, man. So if you don't get in this word and you're not thirsty for the Lord, you're going to die. You're just going to lose. You're going to give up the ghost. You have to get into this word. You have to be thirsty for the word. You got to be pressed. Right? Let me get this in Job 23:12. Right? David said, "When shall I appear before the Lord, man?" Right? Job chapter 23:12. It reads, "Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food." So you have to esteem the words of this Bible more than your necessary food, man. Meaning you put this before everything. Before sometimes you might not eat, man. I gotta read first, then I'll eat later. This should be the number one thing on your mind while you at work. You're thinking about precepts, right? Breakdowns, scriptures. While you in the shower, right? When you out the shower, before you go to bed, you fall asleep, doing a damn breakdown in your mind, man. Wake up, throw up your prayer. You gotta be in this thing. You gotta live here. You gotta live in your mother's house. I know the world say, look, you're out at 18. You know, your mother said, "Get out. I want you out. Go live with your uncle. Go live with your grandma. You can't stay here." No, I live in my mother's house. I'm never leaving my mother's house. But people they'll edit that, right? They'll crop that. They'll make a documentary and crop that out and say, "Brothers still live." But I'm talking about this word right here. And we all live with our mother, man. And we're not leaving our mother's house.
Yeah, I like living with my moms.
Right. That's right. That's right.
And she make food for me every night.
Every day, man. For a fully furnished table. We're not. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm in my room in the dark, and she's still making food for me, man. Or I'm in the light, actually. But brothers know what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right. Let me finish this real quick. It says, "Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food." So you have to be addicted to this thing. And we know it takes time, right? But when you come in this truth, you have that love, man. See that in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. And you have to maintain that love. And that love that you have when you first come into truth, don't lose it. Don't let no spirit, don't let your sin when you go off, don't let that weigh you down to destroy you. You keep that love, man. And when you begin to lose that love, that's when the Most High begins to lose that love, man, for you. And he'll send you back in the world. Let me get this quick precept real quick. And we all have to get back to that first love, man. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes, you feel weak in the spirit. Sometimes you feel strong in the spirit, but you want to maintain that first love. Right? This Ecclesiastes, real quick, chapter 9 and 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. It didn't say only on the Sabbath day. Now, the wife really on a deeper level is his word, this wisdom, this knowledge. He's supposed to live with her and get to know her and know her ins and outs, man. The Lord said in Sirach the 6th chapter, you got to peek at her door and peek through her window and pitch your tent by her house. You got to submit yourself to wisdom, huh? It reads, for that is thy portion in this life and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun. So you want to live joyfully with your wife. You want to stay with this woman, man. You want to be like that what they call it, that cupcake honeymoon stage, like brothers say. You want to try to keep that forever, man. You don't want this truth to be stale to you. Like two old people have been married for 40 years. Now they can't stand each other. And they live one in the basement, one in the bedroom. You don't want to have that type of relationship.
2 separate beds.
Yeah, two twin-size beds. One person's in the attic, one person's in the basement.
You eating ramen noodles and she eating spaghetti.
Yeah, she don't cook for you. It's just two strangers. You don't want to be a stranger to wisdom. You want to know, like brother said, you want to know the laws, the commandments. You want to know geography. You want to know the Hebrew. You want to know the Greek. You want to know the history. You want to know chronology. You want to know orology, which is the study of time, so you can measure the time. Hey, I even tell brothers, you got to know geopolitics, man, and diplomatic relationships and foreign affairs. Know about NATO, when it started. You want to get into this thing. The Collective Security Treaty Organization, the Shanghai Cooperation Council. You want to get all into it, man. And if a brother asks me a question about the Bible, hey, anything, I want to be able to answer it, man. Because I love this word so much. I mean, anything. Hey, sometimes I'll go in the damn trivia joint, man. It'd be 250 questions, a hardcore Bible trivia, and I'm up there just trying to answer the questions, man, with a precept. And you keep yourself sharp like that sometimes too, man. You look up the frequently asked questions. I looked up a toughest Bible questions one time. World's toughest Bible questions. What does mankind have to say? And then you kind of go through it, man. Now, of course, we're not going to know everything. We're not the Most High, right? But hey, the so-called Arab man, he loves his Quran, man. The Chinese man loves his nasty scrolls. But Jake, you just let your Bible just sit around. You don't even know where your Bible's at right now. You're watching it live. You're not taking any notes, right? Your hands are sticky on the keyboard. You got the damn big game playing in the background. You got picture in picture with the big game on ESPN. Then you got us in the little box on the bottom right.
This big.
Yeah, looking at the comments. That's off, man. You got to get into this thing. My brother's got it.
I was gonna say real quick. Nah, it's like you got. I kind of forgot it. Kind of slipped my mind.
Come, let me bring out this out. and Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse number 4. Right? So, hey, like the brothers are saying, man, you gotta get into this thing, man. And you're gonna be able to tell, like I said earlier, the amount of knowledge you know by how much you care about the word, man. It's gonna show. It's gonna show. Now, you got somebody that's in school, and they may be real slow, but they're trying. They're showing up. They're the first one in the front of the class. They may not have the sharp understanding of mathematics or whatever's going on in the classroom, but through their diligence and showing up and asking questions, it starts becoming easier. Then you start growing. Then you start understanding more. Now, everybody's not naturally sharp. You got certain people that can count real fast. They know how to do mathematics and division and multiplication, right, and algebra, and it's not hard to them. There's certain people that's hard. Then they have to put that time in with that pencil, the eraser, long hours. But if you want it, you want it, man. If you want this truth, you're going to get it. Nothing can stop you. And the Lord said, who shall separate me from the love of Yahweh, man? Shall death, persecutions. Like, what's going to do it? It shouldn't be anything that separates you from the Lord, man. I was thinking earlier about family and everything, and how such of a low thing that is to sift you out, man. The more I get in this, like the longer I spend in this thing, the less I just give a damn about anything, man. Just stop caring about everything. Just don't care anymore. Look,
Yeah.
man. If the Lord want me to have a job, I'll have a job. The Lord want me to be homeless, I'll be homeless. And cast all my burdens upon Yahweh. Stop worrying about every damn thing. I'm like, mom, my dad. Then you start scratching. You start damn falling out. That's why the Lord said, don't let this affect into this life and the drunkenness so that day catch you unaware, paraphrasing, man. Luke chapter 21, 34, all the way down. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, for though they flourish in branches for a time, and these scriptures, man, you could read them over and over and over, and it hits you differently every single time, man. It says, for though they flourish in branches for a time. And that's man. He come into this truth. He buy his fringes. He get his meat tree, right? He got his chauffeur. He get his menorah. And I know brothers like that, man. We've known brothers. I've stand side by side with a brother that fell out the truth, man. He's given to the world now. He's doing who the hell knows what, man. He's in a dark room somewhere, man, fulfilling his desires. Doesn't care that he's being watched and the angels is right behind him, jotting down everything he's doing, man. How can you know that and then go back in the world? It's as if a demon is on you telling you that this isn't true anymore, or don't believe that, or you can repent later. God knows what these demons are telling these men. I don't see how in the hell you can leave the truth. How? How is that possible? We know how on a deeper level, but I mean, knowing these things, how do you know angels are in your room beside you? They're everywhere. The Lord don't sleep. The prophecies coming to pass, right? You've been a nigga, a fool, a junkie, a damn idiot, a gangbanger, whatever you was. You came to this truth. How is that possible? Knocked all of that dust off, gained all of this wisdom, remember things that were impossible. Now, you love LeBron James in the world, but couldn't remember his stats like you remember these precepts. You could remember all your first grade school teachers' names and your second grade and your third grade, and then you kind of forget vaguely the sixth and maybe the ninth, but you can remember certain things that happened during field day. But when you open this Bible, you remember everything, man. Every page, every scripture. It got an emotion. It got a time in it, man. I remember the first time I read First Samuel and Second Samuel. It was a movie. It was a movie. And I remember like it was yesterday. And I remember that feeling, man. I was rushing home from work. I used to work the 2 to 10 at Home Depot. I got off at 10 o'clock. I went to sleep 3 o'clock every morning. And I just read from the time I got off. I used to study 3 hours. I used to put on the Ninth Wonder. I used to like set the tone, man. I used to light the incense up like I had a damn date. I used to light the incense as soon as I got off of work. Rush home, get into Samuel, get into Ezekiel, start reading. And the thing became something that I enjoyed and I loved, man. And as soon as you lose that zeal and that understanding, you're going to die. The Lord said, for thou flourish and branches for a time. That time could be a week. Get offended, you fall out. It could be 3 years. There's no time on this time. It's a dispensation of time. Yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out, man. And that wind is everything. Anything that can offend you, sift you out, or drag you out of this truth is going to happen, man. The Lord said the imperfected branches, meaning they were never perfected. You know, when something is growing, it has to grow into its perfection. That's why the Lord is not coming back to the grapes which are the elect are ripe. You know, you may be the elect right now, watching the live, but your grapes and your juice and your works and the water and on the vine, it hasn't brought forth to your perfection yet. Now, you may be in this truth for 5 years. The seventh or the 10th or whatever the case may be, will be where you perfected and you ripe, or whenever the Lord is coming with that threshing sickle to gather up the clusters, man. It says what? The imperfected branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable. That's deep. The Lord said their fruit unprofitable, meaning you could have labored in the snow. Hey man, we've seen brothers labor in a blistering cold, runny nose, feet numb, shivering. You can't get to the page because you got the big ass gloves on, right? Then you take it off, and then you hurry up and flip to it, stick your glove back on, or you take about 4 minutes to get to the page because it's so cold. Got the cameraman, the video is not clear. All of that is going to go for naught. That's unprofitable fruit. All them times you passed out flyers, every single time you fasted, you know, wept, you cried, you did God knows what to get the Lord's attention. You done cried, you done beat, smote on your chest. You done sat down on your knees praying with your hand on the ground for 50 minutes straight. Whatever you did, hey, the Lord said, their fruit is unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yeah, meat for nothing. Hey, that's why that links up with the precept I always bring out at the end of the call, man. Because the Lord said this. The Lord said your works are meat for nothing. If you can't endure into the end, it's meat for nothing. That's like running around a track. Then you run around backwards. Then you run around. Then you take a nap, like the tortoise and the hare, doing all these tricks and flips, and then you don't finish the race. What is that to the person giving you the damn medal, man? Right? And I want to touch this real fast. That's why the Lord said this, Revelations 3, right? In verse 2, be watchful and strengthen in the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. So there's never a time to rest, never a time to congratulate yourself or think that you've endured into the end, that you're the elect, or you've done anything, man. We're just now beginning to understand what's going on to start doing the works. Don't say, well, I put this brick in, I put that brick in. You know what? You know, now I can kind of evaluate where I could be in the kingdom by the amount of works that I put in. And I can see other people, how they put in. So that must rank me around it. You'll start bugging yourself out, man. Hey, the Lord said this. Let me get this last precept, and brothers got it. Right? This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, right? In verse number 6. It says, so we built it, Salaki, so we built the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. So your mind mentally and spiritually has to want to work. You could work, you understand, and throw a brick here and show up. And that's why I'm like labeling with people that don't want to work for real. They're lazy. They don't want to show up. They make excuses. They're weak-minded. And that's their personality and spirit. It's not that they feel short. It's just who they are. And the Lord's going to weed those men out and start to deliver who's really about this thing and who really isn't. Because you can't fake the funk but for so long. You can't be something you're not. The Lord's going to reveal it's that fire at a point of time that last degree is going to turn from that water regular to it starting to boil. It's going to happen. Something's going to change. And either you're going to adapt and endure or you're going to be weeded out. You had some y'all done?
I was going to say, you got to hate not knowing stuff. You know, if
Yeah.
somebody asks you a question and just, of course, you're not going to know everything, but if you don't know, you have to do your due diligence to make sure you know that answer and then some, because you're not studying and laboring for yourself only, but for all those that seek knowledge and understanding. Pre-adventure, somebody may ask me a question and it take me a minute, like, I get kind of mad at myself. That might ruin my day. But it also encourages me to read more and study more and look through the precepts, at least having down in this arsenal should anybody ever ask me again. All right, because again, you don't know how critical it is to help out your brothers. Knowing that one precept, that can help them out. because it's not you. It's not just you and this thing. If it was just you and this thing, the Lord would have said it's just you, and it would have been 1 page in the Bible, right? But it's everybody in this thing. You know, it's it's a chain. It was that old? We had this old nasty game in my granny's house. It was with these monkeys that used to link hands, something like that. And that's how you got to be in the truth. Everybody got to link hands and kind of be strong together. You know.
Con. I got this quick precept. I got 3 quick precepts. This boy man, which one? I'm gonna get Sirach chapter 39 for you. This Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. So you have to seek out wisdom in this thing, right? The Lord said in Proverbs chapter 25, and let me get this real quick. In Proverbs, you got to earn this thing, man. Right? This Proverbs. Don't in the video game, you got to earn those certain skills. You got to level up. In order to reach that level, you got to do things, man. You got a damn character who's on level. If you want him to level to like level 10, he has to go above and beyond, man. You got to put in work to level up. You're not just going to know and gain wisdom if you're not putting in any work. You have to seek it out, right? You might have to stay up all night, man. Read the chapter twice, 2 times over, man. Watch that breakdown video all over again. You got to be in this thing. When you come into this truth, expect to give your life and be a slave to the Most High, right? When you come in this truth, you don't live for yourself anymore. You don't live for your flesh and your hobbies and your desires and your pastime and your goals and aspirations and what you wanted to do. The Lord don't care about what you wanted to do. Now, it's about serving the Most High, man. I was going to get this in Proverbs real quick, chapter 25. Bear with me. Like Yardan said, man, you got to hate not knowing stuff. That's an excellent point, man. When you out there teaching, and if somebody asks you a question and you don't know it, I don't know what to say to you. Rather it's history, rather they ask you about the ancient church of Berea. Somebody can ask you that, man. We've heard thousands of questions. I'm go ahead, Yardan.
If you think somebody's not going to ask you something, you're wrong. You're wrong. It was times I was reading something I'm like, nobody going to ask that. And I just push it off to the side. Lo and behold, somebody asked that. And at the end of the day, it's all the Most High, showing you, hey, you got to know everything in this thing. I told a brother, nobody's going to ask that, right? It's like Wisdom of Solomon, 11th chapter, 24th verse out there in the highways and byways. Somebody asked that last summer. I was kind of confounded. I mean, we knew the answer, but I was more so confounded that they even asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Proverbs 25 and 2. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. That's what a king is going to do, man. Don't come in this truth and just think a king. Don't think you just come into this truth and think a king just sits on the throne, man, all day. And have people feed him grapes and fan that big nasty leaf on them, man. No, kings search out matters. King Solomon searched out matters. King David searched out matters. Uzziah built engines. Hezekiah built aqueducts. They searched out matters. Josiah searched out the law. Our forefathers searched out matters, man. You got to search out matters. You can't read something and say, oh, well, I don't know what this, what a talent is, or a damn ephah. I keep saying this word ephah. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, whatever. Brother, look it up. Get a Bible dictionary, Hey, get an atlas, get a concordance, look it up, man. Stop reading over words and where's Samaria? I don't know. If it ain't in my hood, I don't give a damn. That's off, brother. What do you mean it's not in my hood? It ain't around the way. Brother, look it up. Go to 1 Kings. Right? And read these accounts, man. You got to look up words. You got to look up places. You got to look up names. You got to put up the timelines. Right? Let me read on. Oh, actually, I want to go back to Sirach 39. Right? Sirach chapter 39 and 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. You want to be where the word is at, man. Right? You don't read the parable. I don't not whatever. I don't need to know that right now. Well, really, you need to know the laws and commandments. But anything you read, you should want to know what's going on. Rather you reach out, you ask, you hit up the email, you study. You got to fast, man. Ezra had to fast 21 days, man, to receive the visions and understanding he got. You got to go on fast. Expect to go on the fast when you come in this truth to gain what you want. You got to afflict yourself, man, in the flesh so the Most High can feed you through the spirit. You think brothers that brothers stuff happens. Right? Stuff happens, man. So you got to go on a fast too. You may have to fast 2 days to get a demon off of you. Right? You may have to fast 3 days to get some spirit off of you. You may be fasting 4 days for wisdom. You may go on a 5-day fast. You do that to gain whatever you're trying to gain through the spirit of poverty. How about Shema Bashar? Right? It reads, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. You don't want to be conversant, like the brother said, in stats. You don't want to be conversant and holidays. You want to be the brother that's conversant in the Bible. Every time you talk, you're talking about scriptures, wisdom, knowledge and understanding, parables, riddles, allegories. You understand? You want to be conversant, meaning you're that's your specialty, right? That's your specialty. That's what you love to talk about, like sportscasters and all these different people. You want to be conversant in the Word of God, right? It reads, boy, man, this whole chapter's fire. I'm gonna keep reading. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him. You want to be the brother that wake up and pray to the Most High. Stop waking up and checking your followers, man. Getting mad that you didn't get no followers. Seeing who was on your page. You got the app to see who's on your damn page, man. Or you turn on ESPN. You wake up and you call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? And will pray before the Most High and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins. When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer. So that's the brother. That's how you get built up. That's a wise man. He's always in the word. He's meditating in the prophecies. He's in the parables. He's always reading. And the Lord sees that. So I'm going to get that man. I'm going to give him abundance. And next thing you know, that brother pours out wise sentences. Because he's always in this thing. Right, I had another one real quick. Like, bear with me. This is Sirach the 38th chapter. And Ecclesiasticus got straight fire, man. I mean, just pure fire. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38. I'm not gonna read this whole chapter, man. This whole chapter, the whole chapter's fire, man. Right? But I'm gonna read. I'm gonna just get one point. This is right, chapter 38 and verse 29. So doth the potter sitting at his work and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all his work by number. So these are men that are addicted to their craft. There's a man right now making pottery as we speak. He messes up, he starts all over again. Makes different designs, puts it in a was that the fire kiln, whatever it is, takes it out, and that's all he does. It reads, he fashioned the clay with his arm and bowed down his strength before his feet. He applied himself to lead over it, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their work. Every one is wise in his work. So carpenters, husbandmen, men that deal with oxen, they're all wise in their work. Are you wise in your work? And the Lord said, wax old in your work, man. You know? Ask yourself, are you wise in your work? Or are you just in this thing because your brother's in it? Right? You got a cousin who told you on the Facebook family group chat on Christmas Eve that we're Israelites. And you like the way the shirts look because they had little things on the bottom of it. And you was tired of your little shirts that you wore with the nasty zipper in the back. So you want to wear the shirt with the little strings on it. Right? And now you just got a damn shirt with fringes on. You don't even know why, man. You don't have no plans, so now you want to keep the Sabbath. Don't be the brother you don't have no plans. Your plans fell through, so now you want to keep the Sabbath. No, you keep this thing because you want to keep this thing, man. The brothers got it.
I was going to say, the land back of when you mentioned earlier, about people knowing a lot of things in the world, but nothing in the truth. You know, it was somebody I think I seen online, or I might have known him. I can't remember. But nevertheless, they knew damn near all the flags of the earth, or they could name almost all the continents. I don't want that person around me. Get away from me. You know, because then that spirit's gonna rub off of me, and then I'm gonna end up knowing every city in America or every capital. You know, and I remember my mother, she would boast of that. You know, my grandparents would too. They always say, "Come here, baby, come here, boy." And they turn on the news and they show me an 18-year-old or a 15-year-old remembering all the capitals of America. And say, look at him. They say that. And they
That's
try
what
to
they.
make you
That's what they do.
they try to make you feel bad.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at him.
yep.
They start singing, they dance a certain way. And she say,
Yep,
look at this boy. Look at him. Like
yep,
that's who they want you to be,
yep,
you
yep,
know?
yep.
But instead, hey, and I told my grandparents, you know, a while back, I said, look at this, you know, look at this. You know, you got all your grandchildren, majority of your grandchildren, they study in the Bible day and night. And she scoffed. She said, and she turned on the news. I said, what? Because this world is backwards, man. They want you to know everything that's not profitable. They want you to know every American president. You know, I remember my mom's kind of, you know, was pushing that on me in middle school. You should know all the American presidents. As if that's going to grant me the keys to eternal life and kingdom and spiritual knowledge. Knowing old, white, nasty man's names.
And it's like, and she bought you a bacon calendar, man.
Yep. And said, no, you know, and it had all the different parts of the pork. She said, learn this. You should learn it. You know, you should read about it. It had every single pork or breed of pig, I think, of mankind. And they had certain pork holidays, or it was folly. And I hated it. And I'm glad it's gone. I hope it's burnt,
That's right.
you know? So, yeah, it was folly, man. Got it.
Con, all right. Hey, man. So, Lord willing, brothers is taking heed to this, right? All of these precepts brothers is bringing out, the counsel, advice, experience. All of this is going to help that brother and that sister in the truth. I want to bring out this one quick precept. It's Luke 11:33. No man, when he have lightened a candle, putteth it in a secret place, neither under a bushel, but on a candle, that they which come in may see the light. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thine whole body also is full of light. But when thine eye is evil, thy body also is full of darkness. It says, take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not darkness. If thy whole body, therefore, be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of the candle doeth give it light. So when you get this light, don't hide it, man. Don't stick it under a bushel, under the ground, and under a bed. You got to let that thing shine. Show everybody. Go out there and teach. Go out there and labor, man. Hey, I knew at some point I had to do the work, man. Cause what the hell am I doing? What are you doing? You just in the basement, in the room, just watching a video. What are you gaining from that? You have to do this work, man. I mean, I can't think of nobody in the Bible that was just chilling, relaxing, laying down. Yahweh did the work. Peter did the work. James did the work. Damn, Jeremiah did the work. Ezekiel did the work. John did the work. Paul did the work. Barnabas did the work. All these men, they did the work. Apollos did the work. But you can go over and over, and all accounts, all of the books of the Bible, they're all doing the work of the Lord, man. And us being a men of the Lord in the last days, at some point you got to ask yourself, am I studying what the Lord did, and am I walking in their footsteps? Just because you're keeping the commandments, that isn't enough, man. You got to walk in the footsteps of Yahweh Shai. You got to understand what he did and walk into it, man. And essentially, on a deeper level, it's an ordinance and literally a statute to go on the highways and byways. That is a commandment. So when you ask yourself, wow, I'll be a commandment keeper at home. Well, it's deeper than that, and it's more than that. It's more work to be done. Too many souls out here that need saving, and too much blood to get off your hands. So all the brothers, you got to understand. And sisters could labor, man. You could bring sandwiches, fruit, right? You could help put into treasuries. So a plethora of things. You could sew garments, right? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, kind of spirit. Yep. You can sew garments, right? You can keep the children. You can instruct the children. Right? It's a hell of a lot women can do, man. Right? So you got to ask yourself, am I putting in work? You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, keep the faith, and do the work of the Lord, man. And all of this is tying into this lesson. So, I mean, this is very profitable for you to take notes, go back. And even if you've been in the truth 10 years, just to brush up on the milk. Because without the milk, you're not going to make it, man. You can know all those in-depth secrets, parables, breakdowns. You could be the walking damn book of Jeremiah, knowing it word by word. But if you can't endure this truth, you're not going to make it. If you're not going to be able to endure the fire, the afflictions, and be able to mentally strap yourself to enduring to the end, you're not going to make it.
God. And I want to make this quick point. What you have to know when you come into this truth is that this place, America, is going to be destroyed. This whole earth is reserved for fire, right? America, Russia, China, NATO countries, the EU, everything you see around you is temporal. And you have to, let me get this in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, real quick, right? Let me get this in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And because sometimes when you're in this thing, man, you'll begin to lose focus. And you have so many distractions. You have so many different damn festivities of the world, family, all types of madness going on, man. Your job may take hold of you. You know, a car, a woman, woman, it may be a man, right? Social media. You have to remember that all this stuff is temporal, right? This 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things that are not seen, which are not seen, are eternal. Like always tell brothers, man, just look around you, man. Literally, you're watching this live, whether you're in your bedroom, your living room, just look around you. Look at your flat screen TV. Look at your clothes. Look at the money you got. Look at all your furniture. Look out the window. Just get up and look out the window, man. And look at the trees and the concrete. Might be a parking lot outside or your driveway. Look outside and understand that everything that you see is going to be burnt by fire. And brimstone, it was created to be burnt by fire and brimstone and reserved against the judgment of ungodly men. So you have no place here. You don't belong here. Even Yahushua told the Pharisees, "You are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world." So you're not even of this world. You don't belong here, man. We're weirdos here, right? We're creeps. We're fools for Yahushua's sake. The world despises us, and we have to embrace all of that because we do this for the Most High through His Son Yahweh Shah. You know? But we can bring out closing precepts, King.
Con. All right, let me get the classic. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 2. All right. It says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain. And it's a powerful precept, man. 2 and 3. Because it's so much can be applied and understood in such a little. It says, be watchful. That's in everything. The prophecies, your spirit, your family, your friends, right? The congregation. Hey, your life, man. Everything should be examined and watched. Because without watching anything, you will have no understanding what's coming to pass. What's going on? Can't be looking in the clouds all day. Damn, getting drunk. Watch TV and damn reading anonymous creepy books, man. Hey, you got to be watchful. You should have all of the whistleblower sites. You should know what's going on. You should be conversing in prophecy. And you should be always watching it to the end. Hey, and that makes you excited. It excites you too, man. When you see things kick off, it excites you. You're like, damn, man. Right? Oh, man. You start rubbing your hands. Maybe this is it. And things kind of cool down. Then they pipe up out of nowhere. It says, and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God. So no matter how on fire you are, it's something about you that's ready to die. Whether that's how you treat your brother, how you treat your wife, how you treating your children, right? What you're doing in your spare time, your idleness, how you treating your congregation, and are you praying and reading? It's something on you that's trying to die off while you're strengthening something else. That's the condition of the battle. It says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come unto thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So, I mean, the Lord will pull upon you. And like we always bring out, it's not talking about necessarily all the time him cracking the sky, man. Because he'll visit you tonight and take your spirit. He'll visit you tomorrow and you'll damn die. He'll visit you next week, right? And sift some of your understanding away from you. Hey, the Lord, you never know when he's going to come upon you. He's going to come upon you like a thief. And he may require them talents or require fruit upon your tree. Or whatever the Lord is coming upon you on, you best believe you got to be girded and ready and on fire. It says, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. That's why you got to stay ready in this truth. No matter how weak you are feeling in the spirit, there's always something you can do. Whether seek counsel, read, whether that be watching the videos, right? Calling your daughter, your wife, your uncle, whoever it is in your life that can help you out and read with you and bring you out of that fire. That's what you need to do. It's time to cast away pride, all manner of slothfulness and demons, man. Passover is right around the corner, man. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a damn sure if it be the Lord, be ready and willing as humbly as I can to do as much as I can and be willing to have my head to be lifted up a little bit in the Lord's temple in that house, man. Now, nobody's ready. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be a spotless and blameless in these mortal bodies. But as much as you can, examining yourself with lists, calling brothers, and thinking, fasting. And you could go on a fast just for the Lord to put in your mind what you may have forgotten that you need to pray for. And when I pray 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I try to, is I ask the Lord in the beginning of my prayers or in the middle to make intercessions according to the Spirit. Because I may just be talking, may just praying for wisdom and praying for, this brother and praying for that sister, when I need to be praying for something totally different and evaluating my prayer that I need because I'm about to fall in a certain subject. So, and you got to mature, know what to pray for. And like I said, Passover's around the corner. So everybody make sure their spirit is on fire, diligent, and you washing away those sins.
Was that the closing precepts? This Luke chapter 7 verse 34. Right, 24. Let me see if this is it. So like, yeah. There you go. It's Matthew 11. It's like in Matthew 7 and 23. And it reads, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And this is a heavy verse because the Lord is going to put you through the fire. And that offends certain brothers. They don't like being put through the fire because they've been pampered throughout their entire life. They've been coddled, wrapped in a blanket of Christianity, sucking out the bottle of false doctrine. Right? So when you go through the fire, you get mad, you get sad, you may even go as far as getting depressed and hating yourself. Right? And you miss the things that used to comfort you. You miss that resting place. Right? You're offended and believing in the Lord. All right, but the Lord said, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And you're going to be blessed with many things as long as you endure that the trials and tribulation, drinking of the cup, and along with drinking the cup, carrying your cross, right? Bearing your brother's burdens. Certain brothers, they don't want to bear each other's burdens. I got enough on my plate. I can't ask him how his day was. I got too much going on. Cross his hands and then turn on Netflix all day. And then watch other men's burdens. But you can't bear your own brother's burdens. You can't stand and ask him how he's doing. That's too much for you, right? You're offended by the Lord because he told you to do a certain list of things. That's written all throughout the Bible. So that's why this is a heavy verse. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. If you see a brother getting mad about enduring the elements, hey, he's offended by Yahweh Shai. And I don't want him around me. If you're offended by the Lord, get out this chat, delete my number, unfollow me off of everything, man. But first, of course, there'll be correction, you know. So I yield with that.
Con, this is Revelation chapter 22 and 12. It reads, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So that's plain upon tables. The Lord is coming quickly. All hell is about to break loose on the earth. World War III is rising. Famines are coming. EMP attacks, cyber attacks, threats, pestilence, destruction, mayhem, pandemonium, reviling, sedition amongst governments, earthquakes, all hell. Hey, one thing we're going to do a video, man, checking off each prophecy. We're going to write down all of the prophecies of the end of the world, and we're just going to check them off and prove it, that they're being fulfilled, and give you the damn checklist, man. Because this place is going down, man. And the Lord is going to give you according as your work shall be. Not what you say out of your mouth, but what work you put in for the Most High. Right? What overtime work you put in. Or are you just content with the bare minimum? Are you the brother? I heard one brother say on a truth song, he said 2 chapters a day. He was singing, he said 2 chapters. The Lord isn't dealing with 2 chapters a day. 2 chapters, you just getting into it, man. A verse a day. You won't only listen to the audio Bible, brother, really? Tomorrow you read 40 chapters in Jeremiah. Brother, that's the audio Bible, brother. I don't know if you on the move, you got something going on, but you can't just sit around and damn do a jigsaw puzzle. Listen to the audio Bible, man. Like a weirdo. You have to put in work. Every man's going to be held accountable for the work that they do, man. Going out, doing the work of the Heavenly Father, praying, fasting, reading, studying, loving your brother, making sure your house is in order. It's all going to be laid on the table in that day. But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, Amalek Yahushua. I will take questions for about an hour, Lord willing. For those who have questions, the number's posted on the screen at 213-603-9096. And that PIN number is 94809-305. And for those who have any questions, I saw our brothers asking about Little Rock, Arkansas. There were other questions about the calendar, about when it's Passover. If there are any questions about anything, you can call in or you can even email us. And the email is Watchmen for Israel 77@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on social media, right? Naquam _77. You hit up these brothers on their social media. These brothers are always answering questions daily. We have the Watchmen for Israel Instagram page, Facebook, Twitter, you know. But with that, we're gonna close up, brother Naquan.
Shalom, brother Right.
Brother Yardan.
From Yashala, Shalom.